Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. You know and I know I have not vlogged in a very long time. My name's Haley. If you're new here, I'm a general dentist working at a private practice in Southwest Michigan. Today is Monday. I'm going to take as many clips as I can throughout the work week, show you what I'm up to. It's not all that crazy of a week. It's actually a little bit slower of a week than normal, but I'm excited to show you all what's going on. We also have some life updates to sprinkle in there, why I've been MIA a little bit, what's been going on. So we'll update you on all of that as the video goes. But right now, I'm just left the gym and I'm gonna drive over to work. It's around 7 o'clock. Alright, y'all, I did not get a lot of clips because that became a very, very stressful day. Remember when I was like, it's gonna be slow? Just kidding. Morning was straightforward. I had just fillings. Ideally, we kind of have just a couple people of small fillings every day instead of like a lot, just because it's relatively low production. Only if it's someone doing like full quadrants do we kind of want to put it in my main column and take up a lot of time, but today wasn't scheduled as ideal, so there was just a lot of back-to-back smaller appointments, but I mean, those need to be done too. So we got those done, and then the afternoon, I knew it was gonna be busy, but I didn't think it was gonna be as hectic as it was, because my main scheduled appointment was a crown on 8 and then a core and crown on 19. The core and crown on 19 was for fractures and a really large amalgam. And then number 8 was replacing an old crown that was done to a trauma tooth as a child that was just very unaesthetic. So it was purely cosmetics. That one was nice and straightforward. I mean, the tooth is root canal treated, a little bit of anesthetic so that the gums are comfortable while we drop the margin more so it looks better. The result was pretty good. The tooth underneath is pretty discolored, so depending what angles you were at, the shade wasn't perfect, but the patient was really happy and we gave the option to send it to the lab or use the one that we milled here. And the patient was fine with the one that we milled here. They were happy with it, so if they're happy, I'm happy. But that one was a very long appointment, longer than we anticipated, because I was having a very difficult time getting profound anesthesia for 19. Hard to say why. Anyways, we got through it. Patient was comfortable enough to get the work done, and the end results of all the post-ops looked really good. Patient thought the bite felt good, so hopefully patient doesn't have to come back and everything is fine, and it was just a long dental visit. But throughout all that, I was supposed to be stepping out to redo one filling that wasn't as ideal as I'd like, so I had an open contact, so I was redoing that as a courtesy, and then I had a couple follow-ups for crowns, which sometimes it feels like I have so many crown follow-ups, and that's one thing that kind of frustrates me so far, and I'm like, how can I improve so I don't have as many? But when I look at the overall numbers of how many crowns I'm doing and then see how often I have follow-ups, it's a very, very, very small percent. It's just I do so many crowns that it still creates a couple follow-ups per week, which they're just like, oh, I wish it just was spot on when they left, but it is what it is. And when their follow-ups is basically most of the time they're having some pain or discomfort with biting, pressure, because it's probably a little too high, and then most of the time that resolves it. But some people, they end up having to come back in over and over and something's just not right. So it gets frustrating because it's kind of mysterious and hard to figure out like what's going on, and you just really empathize for them and just want them to not have problems. Of course, I feel bad, obviously. And then I also had a patient that is getting a full arch of crowns and a bridge, and part of his temp broke. So it's like a full arch temp, all splinted together to make it a little bit stronger, but part of where the pontic is so weak, and he had a pretty heavy occlusion there, so that broke. So we kind of finagled around that. We made him a retainer to wear throughout the day, even chewing, even sleeping, so that it's less likely to break. And then the lab let me know that the final crowns will be here even sooner, so we got to move up his delivery 1 week sooner, so he's not going to be in the temps as long, which is good because temps just stink and they break and they're annoying. So fingers crossed that as that case comes together, that's my first, I would say, like full arch crown case. Normally I'm working more like in quadrants, 1 or 2 teeth at a time, maybe a couple quadrants of the mouth, but not like a full arch. So I'm interested to see how the case turns out. But anyways, I'm tired and stressed. It's 5:30. Normally we get out of here closer to 5, but I had to finish all those notes since I was running between all the operatories. But everything's done, and I mean, all in all, every patient left happy and feeling good. So I think it's just a matter of waiting it out and seeing how they do after this first round of follow-ups. And I'm about to head home. We have a call with our builder at 6 every week just to kind of check in on the status of things. So we'll see what he says. I believe that they are starting excavating this week, which means digging the big hole and starting the foundation. So that will make things feel a lot more real. Right now the lot is just cleared and staked out, kind of like a footprint of where the house will go, which was also cool because we got to go stand in different parts and be like, this is the bathroom, this is the bedroom, this is the kitchen. Very, very surreal. As we go through the build, I'll definitely take clips and show things over time. I'm gonna be pretty picky to not show too much where privacy could be at risk, but I definitely want to show what I can because I think building and house content is so interesting personally. So I think it'd be fun to incorporate a little bit of that into the channel as well as things get going. Good morning, guys. It's a little after 6 a.m. and I just got to the gym, so I'm gonna go in and do upper body, lower body split that my fitness app is recommending for the day. I'm still trying to figure out like a new updated routine that's a little bit more effective for me. So we'll see about all that, but I'm definitely in a state of being consistent, of showing up. It's more just making sure that my fitness is effective and then cleaning up my diet a little bit more, which I think will come kind of naturally as well, just as we're getting into summer, for me at least, because our farmers market's going to reopen here and it'll just be easier to be outside more, be more active. It's so much easier showing up for the gym any time of day now. Just the fact that it's brighter earlier and later into the day, it makes such a difference for energy levels. So I'm so glad that winter is behind us for that reason. But that's kind of my update when it comes to where I'm at for health and fitness. When I'm filming this right now, it is mid-May, by the way. So today is kind of a weird work day because my main assistant is out on jury duty. So since she got assigned for that, we still scheduled patients because that's, as you guys know, like such slim chances like you actually get utilized and all that. But that means I don't have an assistant today. It kind of works out because this was a very unproductive morning. I have just like a bunch of limited exams, and then in the afternoon some more quick fillings, and then one longer appointment for like full mouth of fillings. So for that, I'll either just use the dry shield, which hooks up to the high vac suction and it wraps around the side of their cheek, protects their tongue, and then is a mouth rest on the other side. So that usually, like, I could work without an assistant just fine. So if need be, I will do that, or I'll utilize one of the other doctor's assistants at that time if they're able to do their appointment solo. So that's kind of how today's gonna go. Maybe a little bit more tiring, back to dental school days, kind of setting up and cleaning my own room and all that. I'm ready to keep cruising through the week. It's been a weird couple months for no particular reason. If you want to know more, I'll link a podcast below where I talked about it. I'm pretty much out of the little funk that I was in, but it just feels like kind of a never-ending hamster wheel is the little bit that I'll touch on it. Even just being a year out, I think it's good to always be striving for more and, you know, setting new goals and always looking to improve. But at the same time, I feel very stagnant. So it's frustrating if I do set any goals because I'm not reaching them when it comes to work. I feel, generally speaking, confident, good flow. I love my office. I love my team, my day-to-day. It's all good. It's more just those overall like monthly goals, tracking them, the annual goals, how they're going, are just not to where I'd want. So that kind of was making me a little disappointed in myself. And I talk about that a lot in that podcast episode. So if you want to know more, you can listen to that. And then also how I worked on reframing my mindset to get out of that funk. But we're gonna end this clip on a positive note. I'm looking forward to today, and I'm also looking forward to getting home after work because I really want to finish the book that I'm reading, because I have to, because book club is Wednesday night, tomorrow night. So I need to finish this book tonight. I got about 200 more pages to go, so it will be a reading heavy evening, which is great because I already got my workout out of the way. Well, as expected, the morning was very uneventful. I was able to get some stuff done for our marketing team though, getting some just more clips. It's really hard to gather content when you're actively seeing patients. Similarly, I mean to even put in these vlogs, but also for the marketing team. So they gave me a whole list of like different clips. I needed to get this doctor doing this person, you know, smiling, whatever. So I was able to stage some of those because I've tried to get them of myself during the day for Dr. Haley working on blank. And they just either don't turn out good because I'm trying to like angle things where you don't see the patient, or I just forget. And I was able to kind of stage them, and I think they turned out decently and they should be able to use them. They just kind of want to build up a compilation of content that they can then reformat into different things. But I'm in my car. I just ate lunch with the team. I still have about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna read my book club book and try to get some more progress on that since I have a lot of pages to read before tomorrow night. And then the afternoon, I have a limited. I have to do a phone call with a patient, and then I have the rest of the afternoon blocked off for a restorative appointment, all fillings, I believe. I don't think there's any crowns. Good morning, it's Wednesday. Today I have a little bit more of a normal schedule. I know in the morning a patient's crown broke off that's not reusable, so we're making him a new one, which is always nice because you kind of just refine the prep that was there and it's a little bit quicker. I have a limited exam and some fillings. And then after lunch, I have another single crown and some more fillings. So nothing too crazy. What I've realized in the past few weeks is that when I have really little kids, like I would say 6 and younger on my schedule for restorative, it's usually a more tiring, stressful day for me. It's not that I can't do it. Like I feel like I do a fine job and the outcome's good, but it really stresses me out while I'm working. Like my heart rate's really high and I'm just like even more high alert the whole time because they're just a lot more unpredictable. Like even if they're not in pain, they might just like wiggle all around or just do something a little more odd than maybe an adult would, who knows, to sit still. So it just stresses me out. And also like their parents are right there a lot of the time, and like if something was to go wrong, I would rather it be on an adult than a child. They just can't handle things as well because they're still learning and growing. So they just really stress me out. But I didn't have any little kids this week, thank goodness. And that's made the week a lot easier feeling. So I'm realizing that's definitely an area I still have a lot of room to grow my comfort levels. And hopefully over time that keeps getting better because someone needs to see the kids and I really don't mind it. I just need to improve my comfort levels so that it's less of a strain on my day, like mentally and physically. And then Wednesday after work, I had a book club with my neighbors, and we also did flower arranging, and it was so much fun. Alrighty, it's about 8 o'clock. I'm over here at my desk. I just logged off of a pre-dental Zoom. I was helping National ASDA's pre-dental division, I guess you could say. I was helping them with a webinar for their pre-dental month as kind of a guest speaker to get the students hyped up for the event. So I had a little introductory presentation for their main networking event that they were hosting. So that is what I did tonight. This is Thursday. Work was good. It was so funny because my first patient, I wasn't like shaking in my boots nervous, but I was just like, I hope this goes well. I was just a little stressed, you know. Some patients you just get stressed about. And it was because it was extracting 2 primary teeth on a 9-year-old. Because his permanent canines were impacted, they were not pushing out those baby teeth. So we had to extract them for him at the referral of the orthodontist. And I was just unsure because this kid hadn't even had fillings before. So I was like, oh my gosh, I hope he does good with the anesthesia. And because the adult canines weren't in the right ideal spot, they weren't resorbing the roots much. So the primary canines still pretty much had their whole roots. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like extracting an adult canine? Because those are some of the toughest teeth in the mouth, if you didn't know, because I got such long roots. They have so much bone holding them in. But 1, it was actually very easy. 2, he was the best, like better than adult patients. So chill. He brought his headphones and was just like rock solid the whole time, unfazed. And I was so impressed. And it took basically no time. It was way easier than I thought. So that was nice. And then the second patient, I was just in another extraction. I assumed it was gonna be fine, but I was more just like patient management because I knew that they were high anxiety and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, hopefully this one goes good too. Those were my first 2 patients of the day. And it was also great. And the patient was very pleasant and actually said it was their best extraction ever. They didn't feel anything at all. So it's always very flattering. And it also, this is just a new dentist realization thought thing. So many people will say, oh my gosh, I didn't feel that extraction at all. I didn't feel that injection at all. And then some people, they'll give the injection and they're like, ah. And I literally do the same thing every time. We put the topical on the same spot for the same amount of time. I'm using the same anatomical landmarks. I'm injecting the exact same way, like pulling the tissue over the needle. And some people are like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And some people clearly are physically having responses that it is not comfortable for them. So I don't know, I'm definitely not quite at the, I'm a painless injector, but some people say it's great. And then same thing for the extraction. Some people are like, I didn't feel anything. And then some people are like, ah. But I also think a lot of that comes to too, if it's infected at all, it's a lot harder to get profound anesthesia. But we do have the buffering system for anesthetic too, if we need it. That helps a lot actually with the acidity of that infection tissue getting fully numb. And it also helps, I think, in general, just make the injection a little less of that stinging feeling, and also helps it set in faster. So I don't use it every single time. Just, I don't know, I just don't because it's a newer thing that we got, but I do use it and I do like it. So that's what this thingy is. I just put a picture here for reference if you're a dentist and want to look into it, or a pre-dental student who likes to know like what are the cool little technology extra things that exist in dentistry now. I don't even know how, I think it's like 10 years old. It's not that new, but it's a nice option. So this is kind of a long, just like check-in video, but it's been a good week so far. Like I said, this is Thursday. Thursdays are my shorter days. I got out around 1:30 and I had an hour drive down to Indiana to look at some stone for our house. And they also started excavating our lot. That was kind of my afternoon, and then it was another hour and a half drive back. So it was so much driving to be looking at the stone for like 5 minutes. But I knew I didn't want to make a decision never having seen it in person, just in case there was the slightest chance that I like had a regret about what we picked. I didn't want to be like, oh, I should have just driven down to see it in person, you know? So I was glad I saw it. I have 2 options that I like. I have a first choice, but I got to make sure obviously that Justin likes it too. But I think it's gonna look really nice. It's just like framing on the bottom of most of the house's normal siding, and then the stone's just gonna kind of be some accent places. It's not like a giant amount of stone, but we still wanted it to look good with the siding that we chose and everything. Again, as we go through kind of the process, I'll either just put it in vlogs or maybe I'll make a couple specific house videos. That's probably what I'll do, so it's more niche and searchable for people that want that kind of content. But I have this whole slideshow that I've made throughout the process, not because like I'm showing people the slides, which I mean I do show like my family if they want to see it and stuff, but more so just like as a place to keep all the content of the names of different things that I like, links to different things, the photos of different things. It was just a nicer format than like a Google Doc. And then it's nice because I can see it on my computer, I can see it on my phone, it's just like saved automatically. And I pull a lot of stuff from Facebook groups that I'm in, as well as Pinterest and Instagram, so it just didn't make sense to have a Pinterest board or an Instagram page like saves highlights because I'm pulling from so many different places. So that's kind of my catch-all. Now I was adding more things to our wedding registry because my shower is coming up in July and my mom's sending out the invites soon. So I was adding more things for the new house to there. It's kind of fun. We put even like little hooks for towels and like our sink faucets and stuff on there. I don't know if anyone's gonna buy them, but we'll get that 20% completion discount from Amazon. So even if certain things don't get bought by our friends and family coming to the wedding, we'll still get to use the discount to buy it ourselves for the house. So I was like, why not put stuff on there that we're gonna buy anyways? And if someone wants to get it and be like, every time they use their kitchen sink, I bought that faucet, I think that'd be cool. A kitchen's such a heart of the home, so I thought it was kind of fun to give people the opportunity if they wanted to be involved in our home build to like buy a little something. So we'll see, but we already started getting some registry gifts from a couple family members, which is so fun and special, and it just makes me so grateful that people want to support us in that way. And it's just so fun because you're like adding all these things to this list and it's like shopping, but you're not spending the money. And again, I don't know or expect to get everything on our list. I just put a bunch of things on there that we would love to have, they'd be nice to have, not necessities, just wants, upgrades from things we already have. Obviously, I love our current rental and the way that we've decorated it and our current furniture that's mostly Facebook Marketplace, or we've had it from our parents 20 years ago, or we got it post-grad and it's several years old now. It was really cheap in the first place. All that stuff is still holding up just fine. It's all good. We have all of our necessities and many of our wants already covered personally, which I'm so grateful for. So the registry is just like extra fun things, and it feels like shopping, and then sometimes they show up as gifts and it's so cool when they do. So it's such a fun process, and overall it's been a pretty good week. As I've said, I had that podcast talking about some struggle type feelings from the past month or so ago. But especially this week, I'm feeling a lot better. One, I think it's because I didn't have any really little kids. But actually, my end of day today was a 5 or 6 year old. And she's same thing. She just laid there so chill. And I remember that's how I was because I had a lot of fillings as a little kid. And I did not put up the slightest bit of movement. I was still like a statue, which is what I tell the kids. I'm like, be still like a statue to keep themselves safe while we're working. But some of the kids just can't do that. And it makes it really hard and stressful because your drill is moving at 200,000 RPM. And that's so dangerous if these kids are wiggly and squirmy, and it stresses me out, as I mentioned earlier in this video, I think. But sometimes they're totally great and fine and perfect and better than adults, like I said. So you just never know what you're gonna get. And today's was great. But I think because I didn't have any challenging kids, this week felt like a good work week. And I know it's been a very chatty video. I don't think I'm gonna film anything tomorrow because, as you all know, I only work Monday through Thursday, so we'll keep this as an actual like dentist week in my life. So this will be the end of this video. I know it was pretty long and chatty, but I hope you all enjoyed just a little bit of like life updates, what's been going on with the house, with the wedding stuff, with my feelings as a new dentist, all kinds of feelings, all kinds of good, exciting moments, obviously ups and downs, such as life, but overall, as always, I try to be positive and grateful and happy because I definitely have a wonderful life thanks to all the opportunities that dentistry has given me and my amazing family support and my super loving, supportive fiance. So I have so much to be grateful for, And I'm very grateful for every single one of you that supports over here on YouTube or supports on the podcast or Instagram. It really means a lot to me. I know this isn't a big, gigantic community or like my primary income source. I'm not striving to be a full-time influencer or something. It's truly because I love the community that we do have. I love getting to know you all as you're going through your journey of most of you wanting to become dentists, but some of you just looking for lifestyle content of a working person, an engaged person, whatever you're here for. If you haven't ever commented before, leave a comment kind of why you like to watch my channel. Let me know so that I know what kind of content to keep incorporating into these vlogs. And with all that said, I will see you in the next video.